Hola mi gente bella y bienvenidos a mi canal. My name is Sandra if this is your first time here, and welcome to my channel. In this channel you'll be learning and I'll be speaking about everything high-end or luxury candle making business tips. So in today's video we're going to be watching me attempt to make soap, and this has got to be the second or third time that I tried to record this video. And the first time I actually made this soap, I did it with the brambleberry recipe, which was to add goat milk. So it was I believe the goat milk soap making kit. It was like $65, and when I purchased it, I made it for myself. I didn't film it, and even though I was following the directions, it came out okay. It wasn't too bad. So I tried to recreate the same soap again, and without adding the goat milk, and it came out really, really good. And then I tried it again, adding goat milk, and I did not like how it came out. So I think I'm gonna insert the clip of me making that soap, which I did everything to the T. It was just that, I don't know, I just didn't do it correctly. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not a soap maker, I'm a candle maker, and I like crafting, and making soaps is a very nice way to relax. And if you do it correctly, it comes out even better if you are trying to relax and then it comes out really good at the end. But if you're relaxing and trying to make soap and it doesn't come out the way that you want it to come out, and then you waste a lot of money just making soap. So I did waste a lot of money just making that bar of soap, and I made 3 loaves. So then I tried it again, and this time it came out super, super good, and we're going to watch me make that soap. And I do follow Katie from Royalty Soaps, and a lot of the tips that I got to make this soap was from her. So, and also a lot of the tricks that I learned was from her as well. So if you don't follow her, you should definitely follow her, because she does have very, very good tips, and she is very entertaining, and she knows a lot about her soap making crafts. So follow her, and also follow me and watch this video, and it's going to include a lot of bloopers. Hopefully I could delete those bloopers. And also, if I do not speak on the video, is because there was a lot of noise. The grass cutters were here today, or the lawnmowers were here today, and I might be doing a voiceover in that part. Or maybe I just do a voiceover over the entire video so it could go a lot quicker, because it was a long step. So just watch me make some soap. So let's get to it.
Welcome to my soap and candle making area. We're going to be using all of these ingredients that I have in front of me and tools. So the first thing we're going to be using is coconut oil, sweet almond oil, avocado oil, olive oil to make our base for our soaps. And we're also going to be using 5% Superfat, and I chose the shea butter, and that's because I love the feel of the extra moisture of the shea butter. We're also going to be using sodium lactate, and that is to make the soap a lot harder. We have our molds, and the molds that I have here is from Brambleberry, a thermometer, and I also have the mold from Amazon. We're also going to be using a lot of safety equipment. Obviously, I have my long sleeves. We have our mask. We have our shield, and we have gloves. And we also going to be using a light water that I had already made earlier for this video, and the lye water is in the white container. We're also going to be using, I'm pointing out the sodium lactate right now, and we're also going to be using containers that I purchased from Home Depot, and they are very inexpensive to use. We also have a scale, and I love the feel of poppy seeds in my soaps, so this is why we're going to be adding poppy seeds, and I got that from Brambleberry. And we're also going to be using mica powder, and I got this from Wholesale Supplies Plus because obviously my brand is gold and white, and we actually have to add the gold element to my soaps. So we're also going to be using titanium dioxide, and that's going to give our soap the white color to it. And I'm going to be using this tea bag, I guess that's what it's called, a tea bag ball that I used to sprinkle the mica powder on top of the soaps. And I got this idea from Katie from Royalty Soaps, and I love her videos. And now this is my own blend of fragrances that I put together, and I'm going to explain to you all exactly what I put to it, add it, or in it at the end. And this is my alcohol that I'm going to spritz all on top of my soap so that I won't have that white soda ash at the end. And I'm going to be putting on my safety equipment, and then we're going to be mixing all of our oils, and I'm not going to show that on camera. I'm going to show you, I'm going to be moving all of my safety, my molds out of the way, and then I'm going to move the scale in the middle of the frame so that you guys can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to show you all the mixed oils, and then I'm going to show you the process of how I make the soaps. Not in detail because then this video will be extremely too long, but I am going to show you what I am going to be adding to the soap. Okay, so here in this container, I have a total of 36 ounces of coconut oil, 27 ounces of olive oil, 18 ounces of avocado oil, and 9 ounces of almond oil. This should give us a total of 90 ounces of oils. And then now, what I'm going to do is going to get my Superfat, which is my shea butter, and I'm going to get 5% of that into my oils. So with how to calculate your Superfat, it is usually taking away 5% of your lye water to add your Superfat, which means that out of all the oils that you're going to be adding to your oils mixture, 5% of that would not bind with the lye, and that will be your Superfat. I know I've seen people who add the Superfat at trace, or people who add the Superfat right now. I've read everywhere it really doesn't matter where or when you add it, just as long as your shea butter or whatever Superfat you're using is at your desired percentage, and that you have adequately removed whatever percentage from the lye to add into your Superfat. And we're going to add 2.2 ounces of shea butter, and we're going to have to melt down the shea butter because it is hard at room temperature. So we need this to be a liquid so we could mix it with our other oils. Okay, so my oil, my shea butter actually has melted, and I'm gonna go ahead and add it to my oil mixture here. And what I am going to do is to make sure that the temperature is not too hot. This is at room temperature at 84 degrees. And the shea butter is a little bit too hot. It's at 114 degrees. And we don't want this to mix in with this oil because our lye water and everything else has to be exactly around the same temperature in order for this not to overcook or be too cool, too hot. And we don't want that. We want everything to be about the same temperature. So we're going to let this cool for a minute.
and then we'll mix the shea butter with the oils. While we wait, we're going to see what temperature is our lye water because we have to add our sodium lactate to the lye water. Okay, so the lye water is at 84 degrees, and this is perfect because now the oil and the sodium, the lye water is in the same temperature. So we could go ahead and add 2 ounces of sodium lactate to our lye water, and then we're going to mix this up. And technically, you should always add your mixtures to a container, weigh that out, make sure it's the correct temperature, correct measurement, and then add it to your whole entire mixture. But I hate to be wasteful, so we're gonna skip that step, and hopefully I get exactly 2 ounces. Going over is not too much, but if I'm going over like an incomplete 3 or 4 ounces, then we have an issue. But let's hope that I don't go over the 2 ounces that I need for this mixture. And exactly 2 ounces. So using this container, we're going to be weighing out 1.87 ounces of titanium dioxide. And what I am going to do is, I don't want to add the titanium dioxide directly into my mixture because then I'll be mixing way too long to make sure that all the powder or the substance of the titanium dioxide is completely dissolved in all of this oil. So what I am going to do, which is a lot easier, is to get the oils and add it to here, mix this up to make sure that it is completely melted, and then add it to my actual oils. And I am not going to use more water because I don't want my container or my soap to be too much or too heavy on the water. So what I'm going to do is just use the oils that I already have to mix it to put it back in there. So I'll be using the same oils in order to mix this before I add it to my entire container. I think now we have the titanium dioxide all mixed into the oils, and we're going to add this to our mixture, and then we're going to use our stick blender to blend everything nicely. And you always want to stick your stick blender or place your stick blender inside of your container before you turn it on, otherwise everything just splashes everywhere. And I'm sure you guys already knew that, but just to reiterate. So right now we're going to add my lye water to the mixture and blend away. And then we'll add the fragrance oil. Maybe we should add the fragrance oil first. No, we'll add the lye first. And then we'll add the fragrance oil.
And the reason why I didn't add the fragrance oil at or before I added the lye water is because there are some fragrance oils that do accelerate your soap making and making it go all the way to trace way before your soap actually gets the time to mix in with the lye, and you don't want that. So make sure that you add your lye first and then your fragrance oil. I blended everything for a good 20 minutes so that everything could be cohesive and all mixed together. And now I'm going to add my poppy seeds and my fragrance oil to the mixture and blend some more.
And when I say accelerate, I mean like the fragrance oil actually makes the oils in here hardens before you actually pour it in your mold. And so far it's not doing anything, so this is good to go. And we haven't reached and we have not reached trace yet. So as soon as we reach our trace, we will um, pour it in there. And I'm going to go from a medium trace. And a trace will be when you lift up your stick blender and it relieves a trace of this that's coming down. That's coming down. At least a trace on top of your blend. And it's not doing that, which means we need a little bit more blending to go. This is what I was looking for. Look, you see this? This is trace. It's like that light pudding. Okay, so so we want the top with the soap to be a little bit much more harder, because this is not hard at all. We can't really do anything to the tops. So I want the tops to be a little bit more harder than what it is now. So we could just use, I guess I could use this. See, it's not doing anything because it's too soft. So as soon as that's a little harder, then we'll make a little swirly thing on top, and then we'll add some of our mica powder on top as well, and then we'll spray some alcohol so that we don't have that white film on top. That soda ash, we don't want soda ash. So let's wait until this gets into a more solid state, and then we'll do the little prettiness on top. Okay, so now we have our soaps that have hardened, and I think I waited a little bit too long, and it kind of hardened just a little bit too much, but we could work with that. Yeah, if you're looking to put in some mica powder onto your soaps, then this tea bag is called Tea Ball. It comes in a pack where you find kitchen utensils and baking utensils at Walmart, and you could purchase this, and it works wonders. The only drawback is that it does leave a mess to pick up, and there's like little glitter particles just floating around in the air that's gonna come and settle down on my countertop and also on my hands once this all settles in. And we're going to let this soap sit for 24 to 48 hours, hopefully less than that. I'm going to clean out the sides off camera, and then I'm going to use a very special surprise that I purchased from Etsy. And then we're going to cut these loaves into bars. So again, it's been 3 days since I made this soap, and look how pretty it looks. Look how nice this looks. And it smells so very, very nice in here. Okay, so this is where the magic happens. Okay, look how nice is this. Okay, so I have some spots that might be just a little bit like this right here, where it got stuck to the inside of the mold, but overall it came out pretty good. Look how nice this looks. Look at this. And yes, this looks a lot nice. Very nice. Okay, so I put everything in the sink. So the next step is to actually get my cutter, which is my soap cutter, and I'm so excited to use this cutter. This is actually going to be my second time using this cutter. The first time I used it was a few days ago because I had already made some soap. That soap came out terrible. So we're gonna not count that time as count number 1. We're gonna count this as 2, and we're going to get the mold. So this is the new baby, the new addition to this family. I got this from a shop on Etsy. It's called Soaps by Lilium, I believe. If not, then I'll put the name of the company which I purchased this from. It is not from the US. I couldn't find one that was from the US that was affordable. This one is from Turkey, and I am still supporting a small business, and this is handmade, and they also make soaps, I believe. And when I opened this, it was wrapped very nicely, and it came with a small bar sample. It doesn't have any scent to it. It's just a small bar of soap and extra wires. I had already cleaned it with alcohol because it was kind of dusty when I received it, and this completely is clean. So I didn't do that on camera because I didn't feel like I should be doing it on camera, and I'm going to move this out of the way so I won't mess it up like I recently just did right here. See that? I just literally just did that. Okay, and then we could start with this soap first.
If you guys have been following me for a while now, you already know that I'm extra and that I like to go big or go home. So this is why I purchased this soap cutter as opposed to using a knife or the single cutting board. So if you are going to be cutting a lot of soaps, I highly recommend cutting with this actual cutting cutter. So I was going to fast forward the entire cutting and I was going to show you the finished product, but I realized that my camera stopped recording and it didn't record everything. So I'm going to just show you how I finished cutting up this loaf of soap, and then I'll go to my final thoughts. So don't forget to let me know if you guys are interested in actually doing soaps. I'm not an expert in it, but I do know a little, one or thing or two about cutting soaps, and I do enjoy learning new crafts, and as I'm learning, I'll tell you guys how I do it so that you could do it as well. And whatever recipes work for me, I'll share it with you guys, as I'm going to be sharing this recipe, which is amazing. So just watch the final video, and then I'll come back to you guys with my final thoughts.
Okay, so in the video, I actually had a mixture of fragrances that I used to make that one fragrance. And the scent that I mixed together was very festive. So it had the fall essence, and it also had the Christmas essence, and then it also had the floral calming scent. So I wanted to, you know, go along with my branding, which is aromatherapy. So I also wanted to include the element of aromatherapy, which had a calming, soft scent to it, while it also had a festive holiday scent as well. So I'm trying to figure out what the name of the fragrance oil or the name of the actual soap is going to be, because it does have a lot of scents together. It has, and also has poppy seeds, and I love the way poppy seeds feels on my hand, so that's why I added poppy seeds to it. And the best part about it is that it does have a lot of moisturizing elements to it. So let me know in the description box below, what name should I give this fragrance oil or this soap collection for the holiday box that I'm trying to put together. And this is this scent has apples, it has vanilla, it has marshmallows, it had peaches, it has a floral scent to it, and it smells divine. So that's why my voice is kind of like going right now, because I got a little excited with the scent and smelling it, and then my allergies started flaring up again. So let me know what you guys think about this video. Let me know if I did some steps incorrectly. Let me know what you think about it. I know I added some of the 5% superfat inside of my oil mixture, as opposed to adding it at trace. So and I was also a little bit apprehensive, because I wasn't really 100% sure that the fragrance oil was going to actually make my soap react faster than it should. So it didn't, and I was glad that all those fragrances together reacted beautifully in the soap, and the end product was completely so perfect. So if I do say so myself, considering the fact that I did mess up the previous batch. But regardless of the fact, let me know what you guys think about this video. And hasta la próxima. Don't forget to like, comment down below, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really does help my YouTube algorithm and other kind of marketers find this video. So hasta la próxima. Bye, mi gente bella.